Hey guys, my name is Alan Morrison. I'm a freshman in electrical engineering. I wanted to show y'all right quick how to set up dual extrusion for the LETUSA V5. I noticed there wasn't a lot of resources on this, so I kind of like to make it easy for y'all. First thing you'll need is a ruler or a caliper, as I like. And you'll need to know the distance between your nozzles precisely. You can do this in inches or millimeters, whatever you prefer. And you'll also need to make sure that the nozzles are completely level, because they'll be crossing over the paths of each other whenever you're printing. Something to keep in mind is also make sure your x-axis is level on both sides relative to the bed, not necessarily the surface the printer is on. Besides that, that's the physical aspect of dual extrusion. Alright guys, so now for the software side of doing dual extrusions with your LETUSA V5. So I still use RepetierHost, as you see. For some reason, I like it more than Ultimaker, but it's your choice. It's about the same process either way you go, using Cura with Ultimaker or Slicer with RepetierHost. So in RepetierHost, you have two ways of setting up that offset: configuration, printer settings, and you'll go to extruder. Here you can set up like what kind of filament diameters you have, and here are your offsets. Now here, usually along your typical axis, it's going to be a negative value, and I didn't like that. It didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Since I don't normally use this panel, I just set what I need and go. Over here, I usually go and set inside my slicer panel whenever I have a major system change. I go to printer settings, and I go to my second extruder, and I have an extruder offset. There's going to be a positive difference between the centers of the extruders. You can get precise as you want, but as you can see, whole numbers work just fine for me. So that's how you set that up, and you'll need to set a different color there as well, or else it'll be very hard to tell what filament is printing what. So let's go ahead and add a dual extrusion print. Whenever you make these things in Blender, Autodesk, Inventor, Fusion 360, or SolidWorks, of course, the eternal favorite, you will need those pieces to be in assembly, and you're going to export the assembly as pieces. Alright, so you'll just delete the parts of the assemblies that you don't need. That way they're always in the right place, because that's how RepetierHost and Ultimaker read the file. So this was an assembly that I took away all the pieces one by one in their positions, and I'll just bring these in here. And so it'll bring them in separately. Don't freak out. They're still paired together and know where to go. So you simply select one of them and you drag them together. And there they are. Now it is one paired. It's exactly as it was inside of your CAD program, whatever that may be. And so we'll go over here. We'll reset our rotation and center it. We'll scale it for good measure. How about 7? Why not? And let's go over here to our slicer. You'll want to make sure that you have your extruder filament type selected over here, the correct ones, and make sure your settings in your filament accordingly are correct. And you have your color selected for each so you can tell them apart. Alright. And over here, after you check that, you can select which color. So I want the text to be my yellow filament. Yay, doesn't that look nice? And so whenever we slice this, if you did it right, you'll notice that the filament that's on that second nozzle is going to be offset constantly. And that's okay. It's going to look like it's going to print in air, but remember, it's that far off. And so while the nozzle, your main nozzle would print this right here, it's all going to shift over, and so then it's going to have to be further out in the program, if that makes sense to you. And so then it'll just print on top, and it'll be beautiful and nice. So I hope this helps you get started with 3D printing dual extrusions. If you have any questions, of course, you can email me. or you can test for yourself. It all depends on how you learn. Thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Have a wonderful day.